you get points for humor there anyway. So good job, man. Keep it up.
Do you mind if I just build off something you
Oh
said?
yeah.
In the speech, well, when you're talking to someone just face to face like this, you usually like to try to react to what they're saying. When you're giving a speech, you want to take action, where you plan out in your head what you're going to say next, even while you're talking.
Yes.
And I think that's what you're saying. Yeah.
All right, so very unconventional question. So you handled it very well in the beginning. I would have not thought of that when I went up. I would just mumble on about something that I'd come up with, who knows. But you handled it very well in the beginning. Then you ran into the infamous this situation. What you did was good. You paused and you tried to think. Now, I've actually ran into that situations a lot, and once you're there, it's not supposed to be a joke, it's supposed to be keep on going, but you ran into a blank wall. And then that's an opportunity to turn it into a joke. So what I did when I ran into that situation of just pausing and not thinking of the word is I just said this, and then moved on. And people thought it was hilarious and they laughed. And the thing with people laughing in the stage is it's great that they're laughing. It's bad if you're laughing. I was guilty of this in last year. I included humor in my speech, but I laughed at my own jokes, and that doesn't look good at all. So make sure, even if we're all laughing, try not to laugh and try to move on as fast as possible to get the rest of your points. Other than that, you did an amazing job.
I totally knew what you meant by this. I don't know what they're talking about. I thought it was perfect. But this happens to me when I talk just normally to people too. It's like if you don't like master a phrase, like you were about to say, you're probably trying to say both sides of the coin.
That's
right?
perfect.
That's my. But I'm telling you, like you can't just use those unless you've used them before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta like practice those. Like a lot of times I'll be talking to somebody, I'll be like, yeah, it's just the tip of the. And then I'll just send it, like, and I'll be like, what the fuck is a tip of? And I'll let know, yeah? So, like, try to, like, kind of master those. Like, because these phrases are hard to use. Like, not just in speeches. Like, I'm not an expert in speeches, but just, like, talking. Like, they definitely make it a lot more colorful and, like, make it easier for you to get your point across, but you gotta be good at using them.
First, after everyone got a kick out of that, I realized I probably should have used something like this during my pauses. And I realized that you, every time I see you on stage, you have this humorous charisma that's very likable and entertaining.
Yes.
So like they were saying, every time you get on stage, you could just sit there and people would be entertained. It's just this thing about you. So, good for you. I thought it was solidly organized, and you did have that hiccup, but I thought you played it off well. And it was a tough question. So I thought it was just pretty superb for your third time speaking.
Thank you. So now, do I get a question?
Yeah.
Be nice.
Okay, so today I work at an elementary school. I watched the talent show of a whole bunch of kids. So what is your talent that you have, and like, yeah, is that a good question?
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, the question's a question, they have to fill the time.
Okay, so what is your talent? Lolo?
Okay. Normally when people ask me what is my talent, I joke and be like, ha ha ha, yeah, I don't really have those. But I would think that I'm a pretty decent singer. Back in high school, I was in the choral ensemble and I did a little singing there. And sometimes when I'm walking the class, I sing a little bit. You know, I try not to sing in the shower because, you know, I live with other people and it's kind of inconsiderate. If I miss a note, it's yeah. But yeah, I like singing for fun. I don't know how to fill this in 1 minute. I'm sorry. No. I'm also shy, so I don't like singing in front of people alone. Yeah. Like it.
No,
Oh, dang it.
Sing.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, who wants to go first?
Just choose who you want.
You gave me a question.
Well, it was, I guess it was, I don't know that I could fit that into 1 minute, but you kind of got part, like stuck like how I did and didn't know how to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you just didn't know what to say, so it's tough.
All right. Well, you started off well, and it's very hard to do these table topics, especially like off the bat. And this is only your third time here, right? Or at a meeting, so no one's gonna say, "Oh, you did horrible," because I did horribly my first month of being in Toastmasters. So no one's gonna judge you for that, but coming up with information to fill in that time is easy if you know how to do it. So say you're starting with your hobby is singing. So you talk about how much you love singing. Did you grow up with singing, like liking singing?
Yes.
Talk about that, and then move on to a story. And trust me, you'll find time to fill in that 2 measly minutes. So that's a tip from me.
Yeah, so this is your first time speaking, so I'll give you benefit of doubt. But I also can see that, so you were given 2 minutes in total. Talking for first 1 minute should not have been so difficult, especially because you don't have to make up any hobby. You already have a hobby. And like he said, you could have given examples of where you use it, like where did you perform, where you didn't perform. Are you a bathroom singer? Say things which make sense to you. You don't have to, don't go there with a fear, thinking that, oh, I cannot speak. Do I have 5 seconds left? Don't, even if you have crossed 2 minutes, don't even bother about the table topic. For the very first time when you're speaking, don't even bother about timing and anything. Just keep going. Forget about making sense out of your talk. And a lot of times you would see most of the table topics which have won in the Toastmasters, which I personally see, are the ones which are funny. Sometimes they even deviate from the actual question, but they win all the time because they are funny. So you can add an element of fun. And like he said, if you have a template in mind for Toastmasters table topics, it would be much easier for you. So for the next time when you speak, you can say, I'll make it funny, and I'll put example, and I'll wrap it up again. I'll start with a point and I'll end it up at the same point. Say something and then repeat the same thing at the end so that it makes a complete circle. That's why singing is my best hobby, something like that. So yep.
Alright. This may surprise you, but I was a shy kid. So
Really?
So I know where you're coming from, especially when you are speaking in front of people. And quite honestly, I think what you need to say it is just loud and proud, this is what I am, this is who I am, because this is a moment where you get to speak and we're going to listen.
Yes.
That you command the stage. That whatever you're going to say, we're just automatically going to listen. And I think a tip that really helps me is try to think of how you tell it to people in your everyday life. The story I gave up there, I've told that before. So how have you described in the past your love of singing to someone? Because if you can, you already have a pre-made list that you can work off of that just happened naturally. And when you're up there, I know you're having to think on your feet, so having something like that will really help. And that's the end.
your movement was solid. You stood in one place. Most people, they get nervous and they start pacing or whatnot. If you did, I didn't see it, so I thought it was solid. I liked your presence on stage. You could tell you were, I wouldn't even say nervous. It was more of just like first time meeting someone. You're like, hey, and I didn't sense you were nervous or stressed. I just felt it was like the first time meeting you. So I don't think it put me off or anything like that. I liked it. I think that in time, once you get used to talking on the stage, like they said, it'll be a lot easier to make examples. You could have talked about the shower thing. You could have went into depth and be like, one time I was like, ah, and then someone came to my door and was like, shut the hell up, you know? So
Correct.
I thought it was great.
Oh, I like your speech because it was natural. So it's like talking to a friend like that. Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes you have to make difficult decisions. Like today, I had to make the decision between getting to class in time and going to the career fair. I chose class. I want to know what difficult decisions you've had to make lately. Here,
Okay. So I like to consider myself like a Superman of sorts, you know? As in, like, I don't really like see the doctor when I get hurt. I just kind of shake it off and try to fix everything myself, really, my body. So, but today, you know, I woke up, went to class, and there was just like excruciating pain in my spine, basically. And I knew where it came from. And like, I should have gotten this checked out 2 weeks ago for sure. But you know, today I was like, all right, this is just going to be the day that I go see a doctor. So like, how I got this was, it was during spring break actually. Where I got this also. But I was, me and my friends were trying to get away from like my entire group of friends. And we were going around, and there's like this track outside of our cruise ship. And we like kind of went outside the track, and then there was this huge life raft, like huge life raft. So, and there's like 15 feet up in the air, so we got to climb 2 sets of ladders to get there. So we climbed up the first set, climbed up the second set, got on the ladder and kind of like ducked down, and you know, our friends went past us. But then on the way down, we kind of noticed the life raft started to tilt. You know, and this is like, we were in the middle of the fucking ocean. Like, like if that life raft fell, like we'd be gone forever. So we like hopped off real quick and got on the platform. And then my friend came down with the ladder, and then like 7 feet down, there was this like steel beam like that big. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna jump down there. Cause I thought it was like maybe 4 feet. So I grabbed this little post, and then I reached down, and I have a drink in this hand. And I'm really drunk at this point too. So I grabbed the post, I have my drink, and I go like reached down, and then like I thought I had it. Even though I don't know why I think I'm 7 feet tall. Like I thought I had it, so I let go. And I was like 2 or 3 feet away from it, and I fell and twisted over and just like landed right on my ribs. And just like heard like this huge crunch, and I was like, oh, just lay there for a few seconds. Then I got up and then just acted like it never happened. But today I had to go, you know, I had all this pain, so I had to go see the doctor. And you know, hopefully I get better. Thank you.
Overall, I think it's a good story, but I don't know if it is me because like sometimes the words are really like combining with each other, so I couldn't like hear you like very clearly.
Mm.
So it's just, but overall, I think it's good.
Yeah, I get that a lot actually.
Okay. I feel like my topic was very convenient for you because you were just talking about making up stories about your injuries.
Yeah.
So it was good. You use like a lot, but then again, I feel like a lot of people use like a lot these days. So I don't know if that's a problem. But yeah, you did good.
I have not done that on a cruise ship before. It was a very entertaining story, to say the least. I was definitely, you had my attention, and I was following along with every word. You had a bit of informal in your speech, not to Fahim levels for a lot of you guys, to where it's really bad, but make sure that you're also giving it in a very direct and just slightly formal setting. You can still give a very entertaining story, just give a little tweaks here and there to make sure it's very direct in how you're using your language.
Right.
Otherwise, you know, like, keep the story, because I was, you saw me, I was like this, just like, please tell me more.
I thought it was fantastic storytelling, and you knew you wanted to tell the story, so you introed with this, and then you concluded with the same thing, and it went full circle, just like Jit was talking about. I thought it was great. Great stance, easygoing, like you were talking to a friend. It's perfect. I noticed the ums and the likes and the fillers, but it didn't take away too much at all. I think one thing you could think about improving was the vocal variety, maybe with the I'm in pain, but I like the way you were pointing out different locations. I thought it was overall solid.
Yeah. So in one word, if I have to describe you, I can see you're very confident, and I can see moving forward you will do great in Toastmasters. Do you already have the membership? Take it, you'll do great. I'm telling you. And secondly,
Advertising.
so I like it. I could see the confidence. You used a lot of gestures. You put your foot forward, and then you made hand gestures. You did the emotion of pain. All that was very good. But like she pointed and he pointed about and ahs and like, which I guess if you are in Toastmasters you will learn them eventually. And these things like I just said like. These things are brought up more prominently when you give a formal speech, like outside Toastmasters. I wanted to say outside table topics, when you give a prepared speech, that's when you can practice these things more, and they will go away with time. We still keep saying like and ahs and ums, and I can understand it's very difficult to control them. Besides that, I don't see anything negative. So it was a very good speech for you giving your second speech, right, this time? Yeah, good job, man. Keep it up.
I just kind of like talk really fast. See, I just said like again. But once I get rolling, it's,
Yeah.
you know, you have to keep filling
Like,
up
yeah,
all the
once you
words,
register
and
it in
it's
your
hard
mind.
it's hard to stop, and you know, I just want to say stuff is all I
Hence
want
why I
to do.
take all those